Bata Shoe is not a Malaysian brand or Indian brand or Pakistani brand. It is actually a brand from Czech Republic, which is in Europe. Bata is known for its relatively good quality shoes at an affordable price that most people can buy, and it is often associated with school shoes and also some work shoes, such as this one that I personally bought for some of the official events. And how does Bata, a brand from Central Europe, can associate itself with many Asian countries? Bata traced its shoe origin back to steps from a family of a cobbler in Moravia, which is today located in the Czech Republic. And how Bata, an European brand, can associate itself by most of the people as local shoes. Bata Shoe Company was founded by three siblings of Tomas, Antonin, and Anna in the little town of Zlin, which is today located in the eastern part of the Czech Republic on the 24th of August 1894. And originally, and actually still today, Bata Shoe Company is a family company. It is not shocking because Bata family traditionally is a generation of cobblers, and Tomas, the main founder of the company itself, is the 9th generation of a hereditary cobbler. Just about a year after the company's foundation in the 1895, the company faced financial reasons, and because to maintain the business and to cut the cost, traditionally made leather shoes or switch its material to canvas, which is cheaper to make and easier to produce. However, the canvas shoe is still durable enough to wear, especially in the factories and in the farm fields. Such a proof that the new canvas shoe made by Bata is so popular. In 1904, knowing of the technological advances of shoemaking in America, Tomas, together with the three other workers, was sent to Zlin, Massachusetts, in the United States to learn more about the automation of shoemaking and to make a better quality shoes at the lower bottom price that anyone can buy. As a result, when Tomas returned back to Zlin, he initiated the mass production of shoemaking, which makes the shoe production cost lower and it brings higher economy of scale of shoe, because previously shoe are making fully by hand, traditionally made by a cobbler. It takes a long time and quite expensive for most of the people, and thus with the automation, with the canvas materials, it makes cheaper shoes that most people can buy. And the ingenuity of Tomas Bata entrepreneurial shape thing is not only limited on the innovation of shoemaking. Tomas Bata also initiated one of the most cheekiest way to advertise without costing more, which is putting the price of 99.9 ending up in 9 instead of the rounding up the number. For example, the shoes that I bought is cost about 89. It's supposed to be 90, but they reduce one digit, so it's shoes costing 89 ringgit. Zlin on the turn of 20th century was part of the Austria-Hungary Empire. And what happened in the early 20th century? Yes, the Great War happened. Today known as the World War I. And it was broke out and makes the struggling business struggle even more. But Bata shoemaking business quite thriving because military of the Austria-Hungary Empire demanded shoes for the armies, and caused Bata business to sustain in the midst of the war, unlike the other type of businesses, because Bata shoes is cheaper, fast to make. And afterward, there was a global recession aftermath of the war due to economic depression, and because of high inflation, especially in the neighboring country of Germany and also within the newly independent Czech Republic itself, the political crisis after the breakaway of the Austria-Hungary Empire, and as a result, the business should be terrible at that time, but Bata is thriving. Somehow, Bata cut the shoe price up to almost in half, makes the shoe is still affordable to most, even in the middle of high inflation in the Central Europe in aftermath of the World War I. And to sustain the businesses with the cut of the price cost, he offered the workers to accept the lower salary than usual, but instead of receiving the monetary compensation of their labor effort, Bata promised the housing, promised the food, and also some of the social amenities, making the little town Zlin growing up into a thriving industrial town. And business will really boom for the Bata company, and Zlin growing into a shoemaking town itself, and also create some of the planned housing, all the stuff that town needs, for example cinema, a theater, and also some school, of course. And interesting enough, Thomas Bata also initiated what called today as the Garden City movement, which makes the whole city is kind of a live in the garden with all the lush trees and flowers and such. Because of the low cost of production and also a lot of shoes to sell, the local market of Czech Republic and the former Austria-Hungary is simply not enough for every Bata shoes. As such, Bata opened up the businesses into other countries and set up factories in each respective European and Asian countries. For example, in France, in Switzerland, United Kingdom. There are also a Bata township in Canada, in the Netherlands, and also in India, such as Bata Nagar nearby Calcutta in India, and also Batapur in Pakistan. Meanwhile, in 1913, Bata opened its first shoe outlet in Capital's building in Singapore, which is at that time and even today is one of the most luxurious department store in the whole of Singapore. And in the same year, Bata Shoe Factory was opened in Teluk Belangah Road. And about 5 years later, Bata opened another factory in Malaya, which is located in Klang, which is still in operation until to this day. Why, you might ask, open two factories in the nearby identical places? Is because Malaya at that time is the most important rubber producer in the world. Rubber is also the key ingredient to make shoes. I talk about something about rubber. There is somewhere a link about here. You can watch later about the rubber. However, Thomas Bata didn't see the expanding business of Bata throughout the world, because in the year 1932, Thomas Bata died in a plane crash near Zlin, and the plane was repaired and put into a building which is today a memorial to commemorate of his success of shoemaking business. And because of geopolitical tensions aftermath of World War II in the middle of the 20th century, Bata moved its headquarters to Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, a township specifically created to sustain a Bata factory in Canada. And Jan Antonin Bata, which is a half brother of Tomas, also moved to the Americas, at first to the United States and later ran away to Brazil because he was accused to be collaborators of Nazi Germany during Germany's occupation of Czech Republic in the midst of World War II. All the Bata factories and operation in Czech Republic, including in his hometown Zlin, was confiscated by the Communist Party in Czech Republic, in Czechoslovakia at the time, and later be nationalized as another brand that many people didn't know heard of. Such with the forced nationalization, Bata brand was faded in Eastern Europe after World War II, including in its hometown Zlin. But Bata brand is thriving elsewhere. It becomes a local icon, which makes Bata a proud of a country where it is marketed. For example, in India, in Pakistan, in Singapore, and also in Malaysia as well. And Bata factories remain functional with minimal central control, which is in the later 20th century mostly concentrated in Canada. The reason is that the management of the factory is often autonomous, and the management in each country understand the local demand and the local market, and they understand what price to be put and what type of shoes they can produce and offer. And this is all based from the principle of a Thomas Bata principle of management. There are 10 points of all, which can be read here in the one article written by Ladislav BURITA and Jakub Chvátal from Thomas Bata University. You know, someone is really successful when his name or the brand itself is embedded in a university, a proper university researching in a business administration how to sell shoes. According to this article again, from all the standpoints of the principle of management of Tomas Bata, it is found that the autonomy of the management, which means that there are no stocks or shareholders involved. The Bata company is still owned privately by the Bata family. As such, there is no like shareholders that ask for more profit or income or merger or acquisition, as such many things that play in the stock market. Bata didn't have such things. They only focus on how to profiting themselves and also how to maximize the satisfaction of the workers and also satisfaction of the customers, of course. And another principle is that everyone has a profit share in the company, which means that during Tomas Bata mayorship in Zlin, everyone is guaranteed housing and also social amenities such as schooling, culture center, swimming pool, as long as they keep working with the Bata factory, which is actually quite a common thing in the 20th century, which means that one town is dependent on one employer, which is a common thing. And what makes Bata so localized, so deeply embedded within a country itself is that the independent management, which means that in the management of Bata in India did not really interfere much with in Singapore or in Malaysia or in Canada or in anywhere. The local factory and local management know what the local market wants and what market needed in the particular country. Interestingly enough, Bata is hardly known as a global brand from Czech Republic. And how Bata managed to be a local brand, Malaysian brand, Indian brand, Singaporean brand, in its globalization process, which means that open up the factories throughout the world. According to Balaban, Jan Herman and Bata Savic, during the Great Depression of 1928 until 1929, Bata built a brand new factories in different countries to bypass the principle of protectionism at that time, because the countries want to reduce the import and keep the local job, which means at that time, because of the economic depression, all the countries want to restrict the import that can kill the local jobs, which means that Bata, in order to expand its operation to other countries, then the Bata opened up a brand new factories within its local management, local workers, and also local material, as local as possible. And because of this highly localization process of Bata production, that is why Bata is so ingrained with the local population due to the local materials, local workforce, local management, and also the local customers. Bata is much more larger and much more famous than other brand came from Czech Republic. Sometimes it's branded as a capitalist, especially during the communist era between 1945 until 1991. In the film Uchidni Dobshi Rodaci in the year 1968, during the communist era, Bata was portrayed as a vile capitalist who shuts down all the little cobblers out of their work.
Švec? A proč? Ještě se optej, jestli nebyl žid. Ale však po Baťovi už ševcovinu nedělal. Dělal, co se dalo. Takže byl vlastně nádeník, že?
But in reality, Bata is more like kind of a social corporation, which means a corporation that have a very good linkage between the management and the workers, and it is not really a pure capitalism, because there are no stock selling or buying, trading and such in the Bata company. As such, it is not prone to any speculation or any like economic up and downs, and also all this playing in the stock market. And because of this localization process, unlike other international brands, for example McDonald's in America and so Huawei in China, like people sometimes they didn't go protesting America in the embassy, but they go protesting in front of McDonald's. But we don't see it as that thing, protesting anything that European Union has done, because Czech Republic is part of the European Union, and people are making a protest in front from Bata Shoe shop. Never happened before, but probably in the future, who knows. The world is crazy. As a conclusion, Bata Shoes is a global brand localized in many countries, especially in Asia and Africa, Czech Republic in origin, popular in Malaysia, Singapore, India, Pakistan, Kenya, Canada, and many countries. And due to Tomas Bata innovation of cheap shoes and mass production of shoes, outside of the production, workers' welfare, of development of the township, and also the ingenious localization ensure the longevity of Bata existence in the corporate world, in the globalized world, makes Bata a resilient brand while still maintaining quite a good price. At the end of the Cold War in 1991, Bata brand appeared again in its hometown, Czech Republic, while its headquarters moved out from Canada to Lausanne, Switzerland, because Switzerland is much nearer with the Czech Republic anyway. And wait, doesn't mean Bata is now a luxury Swiss brand?